Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you gave a woman a compliment that actually stayed with her? Not the kind that earns a polite smile or a quick thank you, but one that lingers in her mind for days, making her replay your words in private, wondering why you felt different from all the others. Most men never learn how to do that. They throw compliments like confetti, random, shallow, and forgettable. But when an older man compliments a woman with emotional precision, when his words carry quiet confidence and depth, it's magnetic. Because for her, it's not just about being seen, it's about being understood. Before we dive deeper, make sure to like this video and subscribe. It helps me reach more men who are ready to understand women on a level most never do. Here's the thing. Younger women are surrounded by noise. Social media floods them with fake validation, empty praise, and hollow admiration. But when an older man speaks, if his words carry grounded masculinity, maturity, not performance, he becomes the still point in her chaos. Compliments from such a man hit differently. They don't sound like flattery, they feel like truth. And truth is what women crave more than beauty itself. So if you've ever wondered why your compliments don't spark attraction, or worse, make her uncomfortable, it's because she senses the intent. She can feel when you're seeking approval instead of expressing awareness. The difference between validation and observation is everything. Women trust a man who observes them. They resist a man who validates them. So when you compliment, you're not trying to win her. You're revealing that you've seen her, not just her looks, but her essence. It's why when older men say certain things, women lean in instead of pulling away. These 8 compliments aren't scripts or tricks. They're reflections of masculine emotional intelligence, phrases that land with weight because they're said without need. When spoken with calm energy, they can transform how she perceives you, not as another admirer, but as a man who truly gets her. Let's start uncovering the ones that strike deep, the words that make her heart pause, because finally, someone noticed the right thing. The first compliment that melts through a woman's armor, especially when it comes from an older man, is this: you carry yourself with grace. It's simple, but devastatingly effective when said sincerely. Because unlike the typical, "you look beautiful," that she hears from everyone, this one speaks to how she moves through the world, not just how she looks in it. It tells her you're paying attention, not to her surface, but to her energy. Women crave that kind of recognition. It hits her on a level she doesn't even have words for. When grace means elegance under pressure, composure through chaos, and when you notice that, you're telling her, "I see your strength, but I also see your softness." The second compliment, "you have a presence that calms the room." This one is powerful because it flips the usual dynamic. Instead of suggesting she's exciting or sexy, you're acknowledging her impact. It says she brings peace, not chaos, something rare in a world where most people amplify noise. You're identifying her value beyond attraction, and that instantly separates you from younger men who only focus on appearance. When a woman hears that, she feels safe, centered, and magnetically drawn to the man who noticed. The third compliment she'll never forget: you think deeply. This lands when said in the right tone, steady, genuine, with quiet admiration. Women, especially younger ones, often feel unseen for their minds. They get attention for their bodies, but rarely for their thoughts. When an older man notices her depth, it awakens something within her. She feels intellectually alive around him, understood without judgment. It's not about praising intelligence, it's about validating her inner world. That's where emotional intimacy begins. And the fourth, there's something timeless about you. This one bypasses vanity and touches identity. You're not saying she's young looking or cute. You're saying she's captivating in a way that transcends time. That kind of compliment comes only from a man who's seen enough life to know the difference between youth and allure. It's mature admiration, not desperate flattery. When she hears it, she'll smile, but inside, something stirs. You've just told her she doesn't have to compete? The secret? Every one of these compliments connects to who she is, not what she offers. And that's what women remember most. The man who saw her when others only looked. The fifth compliment that touches a woman's soul is this: you have a beautiful way of expressing yourself. This isn't about her looks. It's about her voice, her tone, her articulation, her thoughts. You're acknowledging her feminine expression, something most men overlook completely. When you say this as an older man, it feels like permission. Permission for her to be authentic, to speak without shrinking. It tells her you value how she shares herself, not just what she says. That's emotional safety, and women bloom in the presence of that kind of understanding. The sixth compliment she secretly aches to hear: you make people feel comfortable around you. Why does this one hit so deep? Because it tells her that her presence, not her performance, brings value. It's the opposite of superficial praise. It's an acknowledgement of emotional intelligence. When you tell a woman she makes others feel at ease, you're reflecting her nurturing power back to her. You're not saying she's perfect. You're saying she's human in the most beautiful way. Most men miss this because they're too focused on appearance. But older men who've learned empathy understand true feminine power is found in how she makes others feel. The seventh compliment: you see things most people miss. This one awakens her intuitive side, the quiet observer in her that's always reading energy, catching subtleties, sensing things no one says out loud. When a man recognizes that, it feels like he's seeing her superpower. You're not calling her emotional or sensitive. You're calling her perceptive, and that's rare. It communicates respect for her awareness, not fear of it. Younger men often get uncomfortable with that side of women. Older men, when grounded, know how to honor it. And finally, the eighth compliment that stays with her long after you've walked away: you bring out something peaceful in me. It's vulnerable. It's raw. It's the kind of line that disarms even the most guarded woman because it doesn't pedestal her. It connects her to you. You're admitting she has an emotional effect on you that isn't about lust or control. It's about balance. That level of openness makes her feel seen and safe simultaneously. These 8 compliments aren't tricks, they're windows into who you are as a man, the kind who doesn't chase approval but gives clarity, the kind whose words have gravity, and that gravity, it's what younger women crave most in older men who own their calm, not their ego. Let's go deeper into why these compliments work like emotional gravity. Every one of them bypasses her defenses because they don't target her ego. They speak to her identity. See, when you compliment a woman on her looks, you're touching something external. But when you acknowledge her essence, her calm, her depth, her way of seeing, you're touching something internal. And that's where emotional addiction begins. Women are emotional creatures, not because they're fragile, but because their nervous systems are wired to seek safety, resonance, and meaning. When your words create that sense of recognition, it's like her body exhales. She can finally feel seen. Older men have an advantage here, if they know how to use it. You've lived. You've seen beauty fade and substance rise. When you speak from that experience, your words carry credibility. You're not another voice trying to impress her. You're a mirror reflecting her highest self back to her. That's why your compliments must come from presence, not performance. The moment you compliment with an agenda, she feels it. The female intuition is sharp. It can detect insecurity faster than you can finish your sentence, but when you speak calmly, slowly, and without seeking validation, your words sink. They don't feel like manipulation. They feel like truth. That's the essence of masculine energy, stillness that steadies her. She may not even consciously know why she feels drawn to you, but she'll sense that your energy feels safe. That's what creates lasting attraction. Not charm, not looks, not money, but grounded emotional energy. Here's the secret psychology behind it. Women don't remember words. They remember how they felt when you said them. That's why tone matters more than vocabulary. When you say, "You bring out something peaceful in me," it's not about the sentence. It's about the sincerity, the emotion behind your eyes, the steadiness in your breath. That's what her subconscious attaches to. Most men overtalk. They fill silence with noise because they're afraid of being ordinary. But a grounded man uses few words, and each one lands with weight. Compliments, when spoken from that place, don't just flatter. They anchor a woman emotionally. That's how attraction turns into connection. Here's where most men fail. Not in what they say, but how they say it. The power of a compliment lies in delivery, not decoration. You could take the most beautiful words in the world and still lose her if your energy feels unsure. Because women don't listen to your words first. They read your presence. They're decoding your tone, your eye contact, your pauses, your comfort in silence. When a man speaks from nervous energy, his compliment feels like a plea for validation. But when he speaks from grounded energy, it feels like truth. When you tell a woman, "You have a beautiful way of expressing yourself," say it like you're describing something you simply noticed. Don't rush it. Don't perform it. Just observe it, like you would notice sunlight hitting water. That stillness, that lack of neediness, is what gives your words weight. Women respond to the frequency of your calm more than the sound of your voice. When you're centered, your compliments become sensory experiences. They make her feel, not just think. Another key? Eye contact. Not the intense kind that tries to dominate, but the relaxed kind that says, "I'm here." Let your gaze rest on her as if you're listening to her existence, not judging it. That's the space where trust grows. When your eyes stay steady, your silence becomes part of the compliment. It tells her she doesn't need to perform. And timing matters. Never compliment her when she's expecting it. Compliment her in the quiet moments, when she's just said something thoughtful, when she's laughing to herself, when she's not trying to impress you. That's when your words pierce deeper, because they feel real. The most magnetic men don't give compliments to get something. They give them because they see something. That's the difference between a boy trying to impress and a man expressing recognition. When she senses that you're simply appreciating her presence without expectation, she feels both relaxed and intrigued. That emotional combination is addictive to women. It's safety wrapped in mystery. So pause before you speak. Feel what you're about to say. And if you mean it, let it leave your lips slowly like something rare. Because when an older man speaks with that level of composure, every word becomes unforgettable. Here's the truth most men never hear. The right compliment isn't about getting her attention, it's about honoring her humanity. The moment you stop seeing women as puzzles to solve and start seeing them as experiences to understand, everything shifts. You no longer chase, you attract. You no longer flatter, you reveal. And that's what makes older men so compelling when they truly step into their masculine calm. Because when you're grounded in who you are, your words carry something rare in today's world: authenticity. Women can't help but be drawn to that. Not because you're older, not because you're more experienced, but because you represent emotional safety in a world full of noise. You see, what younger men often try to do with charm, older men can do with presence. A few words, said with depth, can change the entire energy between two people. When you tell a woman, "You bring out something peaceful in me," or "You see things most people miss," you're not giving her a compliment. You're giving her a reflection of truth, something she didn't even realize she needed to hear. And when you do that, she remembers you, even if she moves on, even if you never speak again, because you didn't just make her feel attractive, you made her feel understood. That's what she'll tell her friends about. That's what will make her check your messages twice before replying. That's what will make her wonder, why did his words feel so different? You see, true masculine energy doesn't try to prove, it recognizes. It doesn't rush, it observes. It doesn't chase validation, it creates resonance. That's what these 8 compliments are about. Not tactics, not lines. They're reflections of emotional maturity, spoken through the calm confidence of a man who's lived enough to see past the surface. So the next time you speak to a woman, remember, what you say can either be background noise or something that echoes in her for weeks. Choose depth, choose stillness, choose words that rise from awareness, not insecurity, because when your energy is peaceful, your presence becomes unforgettable, and your compliments become a kind of quiet power. If you found value in this, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more insights on the deeper side of attraction and human psychology. Your growth as a man begins the moment you learn not just to look, but to see.